हॅलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम. तर रेस्पिरेशन चॅप्टरचा पार्ट 3 आपण बघणार आहोत. बॉटनी कोर्समधला चॅप्टर आहे हा. जर तुम्ही आपल्या चॅनलवर नवीन असाल तर सबस्क्राईब करा फॅन्स ऑफ ॲग्रिकल्चर चॅनलला. आपण स्टार्ट करूया. तर आपण डेफिनेशन, सिग्निफिकन्स ऑफ रेस्पिरेशन आणि ओव्हरऑल इक्वेशन स्टडी केलं आहे. तर आता आपण मायटोकॉन्ड्रिया स्टार्ट करूया. मायटोकॉन्ड्रिया, तर फर्स्ट आपण त्याचं अल्ट्रास्ट्रक्चर पाहूयात, नंतर मेजर कंपोनंट्स ऑफ दी मायटोकॉन्ड्रिया, and then we'll see the functions of the mitochondria. So let's start from the ultrastructure of the mitochondria. We'll see here the picture of the mitochondria. This is the ultrastructure of the mitochondria. This is one we'll see from outer membrane. This is the outer membrane. This is the intermembrane space. This is the inner membrane. These are the long circular DNA. This is the matrix present inside the, and these are the ribosomes. This is the cristae. These are the oxysomes present on the cristae, and here these are the F1 F0 portion, and this is the round shaped F1 portion. So to move to the next, here we'll see the major components of the mitochondria. Here major compounds are same. The first one is outer membrane, second one is inner membrane, third is ribosomes, the cristae, matrix, the circular DNA, and these are the an enlarged cristae, and these are the F1 particles are present on the cristae. This is the F1 particle, this is the head, this is the stalk, and this is the base of the F1 particle. Move to the next. The main components: outer membrane, intermembrane space, inner membrane, cristae, matrix, mitochondrial DNA, ribosomes. And we'll see the functions one more here about the ultrastructure of the mitochondria. Here the mitochondria are the double membrane bound cell organelles. Outer membrane, it is a smooth, tightly stretched, thin and permeable due to porine proteins. Inner membrane, it is semi-permeable membrane thrown into finger-like projections called as cristae. The space between two membranes is called as perimitochondrial space or inner membranous space. It is filled with watery fluid, and the space enclosed by the inner membrane is called as inner chamber. It is filled with a proteinaceous fluid called as a matrix. The matrix contains circular DNA, 70s ribosomes, enzymes, and some coenzymes for the performing the Krebs cycle. Mitochondria are self-duplicating and semi-autonomous cell organelles, and each crista bears numerous stalked particles called as oxysomes or elementary particle or F1 particles. Fernandez-Moran subunits, also called as Fernandez-Moran subunits. F1 particle consists of the lower one base and middle one cylindrical stalk and upper one spherical head. Here this is the base, this is the stalk, and this is the spherical head. And you'll see these are the outer membrane, intermembrane space, inner membrane, and cristae, matrix, and mitochondrial DNA and ribosome. One more part is that is the see here F1 particle. Go to the next. See here the functions of the mitochondria. We know all about the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell, but in respiration the mitochondria performs various functions. The first one is mitochondria are the site for the aerobic respiration, and Krebs cycle and ETS terminal oxidation are completed in a mitochondria. ATPs are synthesized in a mitochondria, and ATP molecules are stored temporarily in a mitochondria. Storage also takes place. ATP molecules are stored in a mitochondria. The synthesis and storage of ATPs in the mitochondria. Last one is ATP generation as well as ATP storage takes place in the mitochondria. Hence they are called as powerhouse of the cell. These are the functions of the mitochondria. We move to the next, that is the ATP. What is the ATP? ATP as a currency, energy currency. Here about ATP. ATP means ATP is synthesized in a mitochondria during aerobic respiration in eukaryotes and during anaerobic respiration in prokaryotes. This is important one. And the second one is the energy released during oxidation of food is used up in the formation of ATP. And the ATP is hydrolyzed into ADP plus IP means adenine phosphate and IP inorganic phosphate. And we'll see to liberate energy needed for carrying out life activities. Here the energy is liberated for which is needed for carrying out life activities. So therefore ATP is called as energy coin or currency of energy. You'll see here ATP releases energy, hydrolysis or ATP synthesis takes place, and first hydrolysis takes place and release the energy, and it is ATP is converted into ADP plus inorganic phosphate, and then ADP plus inorganic phosphate during ATP synthesis it is converted into ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is an energy rich organic compound which stores energy in its high energy chemical bonds, and its structure is chemically ATP is a ester of adenosine ribonucleoside. It is important. ATP is a ester of adenosine ribonucleoside. See, on complete oxidation of glucose molecule during aerobic respiration, 38 ATP molecules, 38 ATP energy is released along with CO2 and H2O. During aerobic respiration, the carbohydrate is broken down into CO2 and H2O, and 38 ATPs are released. So only 40% of released energy is conserved in ATP. Only 40% of released energy is conserved in the ATP. See here, and here 7.3 kilocalorie energy is released during hydrolysis of one molecule of ATP. 7.3 kilocalorie. And see the structure of the ATP here. The structure of the ATP. See, it consists of three components. First one is nitrogenous purine base, that is adenine, and second one is a pentose sugar, that is ribose sugar. Third one is 3 phosphate groups. Next one, adenine combines with a ribose sugar to form adenosine, a nucleoside. Adenine plus ribose sugar is called as adenosine. So thus synthesis of ATP takes place when energy is released and when energy is required. Thus ATP is hydrolyzed. This is the high energy bond. Last bond is a high energy bond. These are the low energy bonds. This is adenine part. This is adenine part plus this is ribosome, and combined is called as adenosine. This is adenine plus ribosome. This is called as adenosine. These are the 3 phosphate bonds. See here, first one ATP means adenosine triphosphate, ADP means adenosine diphosphate, AMP means adenosine monophosphate. For studying of these 3, let's see here. तुम्ही इथं बघू शकता, लगेच समजेल तुम्हाला. This is adenine, nitrogenous base. This is the ribose sugar, pentose sugar. This is the high energy bonds. These are the phosphate groups. See here, this is the adenosine, this is the adenosine totally. This is the adenosine. Second one is this is the adenosine monophosphate. One phosphate group is included in a ribose in a adenosine, then adenosine monophosphate. 2 phosphate groups are added in a adenosine, then adenosine diphosphate ADP, and 3 phosphate combined with the adenosine. It is called as adenosine triphosphate. These pictures clear your doubt, and so thank you. We'll see the next part, that is types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration in next part. So thank you friends.